So here are the three differences between love addiction and twin flame love. Now we all want to be in that divine union, that state. It's not really possible. We will have love addiction issues come up, even if we've been clearing our love patterns and blueprints for many, many years. I myself have been in a divine union for 10 years, and I still have little things that come up, and sometimes they're a little bit uncomfortable. Even a couple years ago, my husband and I went through about 6 months of really intense trigger. We went back to marriage counseling, and then the love addictions cleared up. So, first of all, I wanted to say that if you have issues in general with addiction, love addiction often couples very finely, pairs finely like a wine with other addictions. So if you have a love addiction, you might have addiction to wine, to food, to alcohol, to sex, to body obsession, addiction to wanting to be thinner, wanting to look better, wanting to do expensive beauty treatments that are putting you into this fantasy world of I will fix myself and things will get better. Whether it be sugar, like if I eat this donut, I'll just feel a little bit better momentarily. We know that then it puts us into more of a depressive state. Long term, it goes into a cycle where we need more of that stuff to get to that place of bliss. An example is someone who's completely addicted to cocaine. That first hit gets them, pretty happy, and then it takes more and more and more until they're on the floor. They've given away all of their income, their life, and they become the shell of this person. Now with love addiction, it's a little bit more subtle, but it is equally, I would say, sometimes painful. If we are in a love addiction pattern and we continually give our hearts to people who cannot feed us, and we're even hoping that this person is our twin flame, and we put everything out there on our platter, a heart on the platter, and they're not worthy of it, or they're incapable of serving us in that way, then it can really create a lot of setbacks with our heart chakra, our self-esteem. Even for me, it was with my finances. I used to move around the world. Oh my God, my Italian lover wants to be with me. Let's go relocate, to find out that he had a girlfriend. Or my high-achieving Harvard boyfriend who wanted to have me visit him, and I basically took off many, many weeks to just be in this passionate love affair. I was so in love that I couldn't really function and set myself back in my career. And it wasn't until I got out of that relationship that I skyrocketed this channel on YouTube and created multiple six-figure business. And interesting now that the channel has been really quiet lately. I don't know why the cyber gods did that suddenly after 666, but anyways, so we're gonna go deep into this topic. The three things. By the way, like, subscribe if you're new to my channel. I'm Dr. Amanda Noel. I'm the founder of Aphrodite University, which is kind of on pause right now because since YouTube algorithms completely paused all of my business, I have a small handful of clients that I'm seeing, so check it out. If you want to work with me privately, I have some super deals going on. Go to my website, dramandanoel.com. All right, that was my little ad shtick. So here is the number one thing. Actually, I'll start from 3 to 1. So 3 is things will seem easy if you are in twin flame love, because we are in a divine union state. We are in our magic. We are in a connection field with the divine. Even if we're going through a big issue with our partner, or life brings us lemons, we're divine aligning it with the lemonade, with the sugar, in a healthy way. When we are in a love addiction, we're having lots of drama. We're going to be continually getting in fights and arguments and confusion, miscommunications, battles, wars with our person, and it's very uncomfortable. So when you're in a twin flame love state, or it's really just divine love state, you are seeing everything as it is, and it is an expression of love. And when you see fear, you go, this is an opportunity to clear the fear. This doesn't mean this person is bad, or I'm bad, I'm wrong. There might just be something to learn. And there's a very neutral energy, and we're saying twin flame love because it is love. And twin flame is divine feminine, divine masculine love. It's kind of like heavenly fatherly love grounded here on earth. And so we love our mistakes. We love our partner's mistakes. We love the things that are going on. And there's this continual twin flame love alchemy process that happens when we are in union with ourselves and God with this other person. That is twin flame love. So it doesn't really matter if that person's your life partner or if it's a meeting for a moment, marriage for a minute. If you're in a twin flame love state, then you're unconditionally loving. At the same time, setting sacred boundaries, which could be sacred no thank you. Doesn't mean that you have to stay together with the person. But when you have your twin flame in a lasting union, it's because you've gone through enough trials and tribulations to know that this is your person, you're willing to work on it, and you know how to get through drama. So if you're in the drama phase and you're in this twin flame separation back and forth, and there's lots of like trauma bonding and love blocks and patterns, it serves you to deal with those with a very loving frequency, maybe with a loving counselor or coach like myself, or friend, family members. If you've been struggling for years, it might save you some time to get a little expert help, professional help. I know that helped me. It's helped my partner, because sometimes we just have our blind spots. We go into our wounds and triggers, and it just saves time, right, to get extra help. Twin flame love versus addiction. A second thing that it shows up as is when we're in twin flame love, we take responsibility. When we are in twin flame fear and basically love addiction, when we're in that drama state, we are going to be projecting. So projection versus self-reflection or self-responsibility, that is the number 2 sign. Because when we're in twin flame love, we love all that is. And if we're goofy, if we're humans that have drama and baggage, we're like, oh, I love that too, my human self. Oh, I'm so humble. You know, I've got some abuse patterns showing up. I've got, fear and insecurity, body image. My sexuality issues are coming up. Okay, let's love them. Let's work through them. If we're in love addiction, we're more like, help me. You need to love me, and you need to show me that I love myself right now by projecting onto them that they are your hero. They are your savior. And we've been programmed with the whole savior thing, from all the superhero movies to even religions that tell us we should just pray to a savior. We have to save ourselves. We get to save ourselves, and that's the only place we can save ourselves, because the self cannot be saved on a soul level by another soul. That soul can only represent the savior that inspires us to do the saving of ourselves. So when we're in a twin flame love state, we are constantly being our own Jesuses, our own Mary Magdalenes, Isises, Ashtar, Inanna, Kuan Yin, Buddha. We are taking full responsibility as these little gods, mini gods, demigods, and we're rocking that field. And it's not always easy to go, oh, my human is so humble and messy, and needs a little love today, and I'm a goofball, and oh my gosh, like my partner has to reconcile with having an anger issue, and it's very humbling to me because I grew up in a household where there was some verbal abuse and anger, and I had to look at, why did I continue to attract this? And sometimes it comes up where there's name calling and boundaries being broken. We have to work on things. It's like, oh gosh, we're love coaches and we have issues, and yet we have one of the most solid, incredible marriages, and we have a beautiful child, and we're trying for another one, and we have such deep, beautiful intimacy. And at the same time, it's not easy to look at the messes and take responsibility and ownership and love them. But we know we got to practice what we preach. Love your messes, alchemize them, fully nourish the wounds and the pain, and look at why it's there. So that's a twin flame love code. Love addiction is projecting on the person, blaming, shaming, telling them that they're wrong, not taking responsibility, or even blaming ourselves in a toxic way. That's another form of toxic relationships, is like, I'm not good enough. And usually that's coming from a parent who didn't feel good enough, who projected on the child. So if you had a parent that was feeling not good enough and they were always yelling at you, and therefore you internalize that anger and you're yelling at yourself. Oh my gosh, these ducks are so loud over here. They want to say hi. Love Bali mornings. So yeah, taking responsibility is like a free card to reconnect even deeper with the divine. It's like getting a master class pass to that divine level university of love, versus if you're just in the pain and the problems and you're throwing snowballs at each other, like, you did this, you're bad, you're wrong, or throwing it at yourself, then it doesn't get us anywhere. It's pretty funny. So that's the love addiction cycle. And now the third game that gets played with love addiction, and it's the difference between love addiction and twin flame love, is love addiction. We have an on and off switch. We reject, we run, or we get rejected. So that could be anxious attachment. It could be any type of unhealthy attachment. It could be avoidant attachment, where you don't want to talk to that person. You don't want to call them back. You don't want to look in their eyes. You don't want to talk about certain things. There's no blame, no shame, right? We have to love those freezes, those trauma blocks in our system, our nervous system, the dorsal versus the parasympathetic, the vagal. Dorsal is when we're really frozen and shut down, and we're usually in sort of a dead, depressive state. So sometimes the avoidant just kind of feels dead because of a block they had in their early childhood, and their nervous system is really shut down. Maybe they had an angry parent or a dramatic parent who's sharing too much info. They couldn't calm down, and so they kind of avoid drama. So that gets us in a love addiction cycle with our partner, where one person represents the needy parent, the yelling parent, the drama parent, and then the child is kind of running away. And so we can mirror these patterns again, or we can repattern them and parent ourselves and heal and do the healing work. And that's the work that I do with my clients, so that they can have freedom and be two mature adults who are aware of their patterns, who are aware of even ancestral, generational, intergenerational wounds and patterns, and shift them on their head so that we can be in more of a love state. But it starts really with this twin flame love state. So my point is, friends, that it's about taking responsibility. It's about unconditional love, really standing into that. And with this third sign of being hot and cold and on and off, there is actually, in twin flame relationships, we do need space. Sometimes we need independence as well as interdependence, but it's not codependence versus on, off. Codependence, totally together, rejection, moving into a different relationship with a different person, becoming codependent, or hot and cold, on and off for many, many years with a codependent partner. It's really about, hey, I'm going to go on a self-love retreat. I'm going to go work on writing my book up the mountains, and then I'll see you back on the other side and we'll connect deeper. Hey, I'm going to go to this workshop. I'm going to go and hang out with friends and do my own thing. And then we're going to come back and dive in and share what we learned and reconcile maybe some triggers that we've had, and love each other and make love and be the love. So thank you for joining me today. I'm Dr. Amanda Noel. I hope you enjoyed this video. Here's to your twin flame love and clearing of the love addiction. Again, if you need my support, check out dramandanoel.com. And I have a special right now where you can get a session with me, deep dive, reading, healing, counseling, and coaching on this topic for just $222. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Namaste and namaskar from Bali.